You're waiting for that report. The member for Kiambu.
Honorable Speaker, I just needed a clarification.
Okay. Let's hear her first. You'll come. Yes, let's hear Honorable Mother first. I
just wanted a point of clarification from the chairman over the employment of the 400 teachers in the TVET, where he said they had, he indicated that they had a budget of about 2 million. And I'm wondering whether it is 2 million or 2 billion for the 400 teachers in the TVET.
Member for Nandi. Allow her, because you also want to clarification, allow her first.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think Brother has handled my concern because I wanted it to be straight on record because the Chair read 2 million and the number was way over the budgets that can be accommodated by 2 million.
Correct.
Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Correct. The member for Isiolo. Just hold your horses.
Thank you. Thank you, Speaker. Speaker, the issue here is, while the teachers register the students on Nemesis, they are being removed from this other side. The issue is not even they are not registered. They are being captured on Nemesis, but they are being removed. Who is this doing that job?
Okay. Understood. Honorable Dawood, I would like, Honorable Chair, take down all these concerns, whether you can handle them once.
Chair, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want the Chair to, he has told us they're going to look at the Nemesis. But how long will this take? Nemesis has been there for ages. And if we are still being told Nemesis will sort it out, when will it do? We have to have a timeline, Mr. Speaker, because we are told more than, I don't know, billions are lost in this capitation. Even school infrastructure, billions are lost. So are we going to wait until when?
Thank you.
So there should be a time frame, Chairman.
Thank you very much, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I would like to say that this matter of students not being invisible in Nemesis is a very serious matter. And I think this House is being let down by the directors of education in our sub-counties. And students are losing money every financial year. We budget for it, but it does not reach those students. Normally, the president says, if it can be done, let it be done immediately. So the question is, government is the one that does registration. Government is the one that gives birth certificates to these students. But government is the one that has employed the directors of education, and this House gives them money, and this money does not reach pupils and students in our schools. So why is it that it cannot be done? So I would like to ask, just like my colleague from Isiolo is saying, can the Chair give us timelines on when all the students in our primary and secondary schools will be captured in Nemesis? Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity.
To be.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a matter which has been going on for a long time. The issue about the Nemesis. For us to get the real students who are in every class, every school, Nemesis does not agree with even the head count of the students. I have tried from my constituency, I have tried to get the number of students in all those schools because I pay for them. But what won't happen is that I'll try to get 3 sources. One is head count of students. 2 is the class register. 3 is Nemesis. Nemesis does not agree with any of those ones. And why you don't have, I've even gone to the Ministry of Education to try to know exactly why this thing is happening. And the principals and the headmasters out there are told that when they try to feed the system, that thing kicks back. I don't know, it doesn't go through, that's what they are saying. Why is this thing happening? Is it a corruption? Because I believe that there must be something corruption or sort of, which is going on in this area.
Thank you. Member for Makwiny.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Actually, the issue that is being discussed on this floor is a very thorny issue. In my constituency, we have many schools, almost all schools have students who appear in the register, they appear in everything else in the school, but never in the Nemesis. Teachers have followed this process because I've demanded, you cannot come to complain to me when you can go to the ministry and have your records done. I don't know what's wrong with the sub-county leaders, because every year in, year out, this data is not being captured. There is always this flimsy excuse that some students do not have a birth certificate. The birth certificate does not match with the ID of the mother. I mean, as a government, how can we not sort such petty issues?
Thank you.
And why have we employed people?
Thank you.
Then, Honorable Speaker, we need to have a balance sheet. If the money does not go to the school, where does it go? All these years. Can we have the education committee give us a clear balance sheet? If last year it did not go to the school, where is the money? Because money cannot disappear in a system.
Thank you.
Because this is very, very wanting. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Kiara.
Sorry, Honorable Speaker, thank you. Honorable Speaker, I want to join my colleagues in the concern of this matter of CHEMIES and what is happening in this republic. We may keep blaming the directors of education, we may keep blaming everyone else, but the bottom line is our teachers who are running these schools, they are really suffering. Because when the data does not capture the reality in the schools, the money that trickles down to these schools is dismally very little money. And at the end of the day, it is the students who suffer. The teachers don't know what to do. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to say, let the Education Committee be head on with the Ministry of Education so that we know what exactly happens at the ministry headquarters before we really blame on the education or at the sub-county level, because the buck stops in the office of the person who is responsible of overseeing the Ministry of Education.
Thank you.
We stop apportioning blame. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
And lastly, the Honorable Larry Kosgei on this.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If every member had an opportunity to contribute, the story will be the same across the country. And Mr. Speaker, technology is meant to help and to solve complex issues. Which is this technology that derails that function, Mr. Speaker? I think, Mr. Speaker, it is fair that you give a direction that within a specific period of a month, for example, the Ministry of Education goes out to clean and to capture every student in the Republic of Kenya and come with a confirmation to this House that every student schooling in the Republic of Kenya is now captured in Nemesis, so that we close this matter once and for all.
The Honorable Ngurus.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this time to add my voice on the issue that is discussed on the floor of this House. Mr. Speaker, the issue that is coming up here is a very important issue that's really affecting the learners in our schools. Mr. Speaker, it's really discouraging that we have a whole ministry with so many employees, so many top officials, but they cannot account for the number of students in our schools. And Mr. Speaker, this has made really running of our schools very difficult. Sometimes even keeping the students in our schools is really becoming a big problem, because managing our schools without having the real number, without complying with the resources that are supposed to go down to the schools, becomes very difficult to manage our schools, Mr. Speaker. And this has really affected the learning, because sometimes even taking care of the students without having the right resources, because of the number that's being submitted by the ministry, is really a shocking story to this country. So, Mr. Speaker, we want to task the Ministry of Education that the number of the students should always tally with the number that is in the Nemesis.
because that will reflect on how much resources will go down to the schools. Another problem, Mr. Speaker, is that if the system is really not working and it's not adding up, why don't we have a parallel manual program that the ministry can capture the number of students per school, such that at a certain point they can be able to compare the number in the Nemesis and also have a manual register which can capture all the students in a school. Because you can imagine, you can have 1,000 students in a school, but in the Nemesis you can have less than 300. So who will account for the number that's missing? So, Mr. Speaker, something needs to be done.
Thank you.
And the Ministry of Education should be up to the task. That's
the Chair of Education Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I agree with the sentiments of the members, and I want to give a brief, just short story, and I want to say my former chair education, before the introduction of Nemesis, they were using, Honorable Sabina Chege is here, before the introduction of Nemesis, they were using leaflets and papers from schools to ascertain the number of students in those schools. After our visit to the US, and we saw the US charter schools, that is when Nemesis was introduced. And we realized that there was a complete mismatch between the list brought by the principal to the Ministry of Education and the actual students on the ground, because they were just adding it up. But now with the introduction of Nemesis, other issues have arisen. And I want to tell the House that about in June this month, the new principal secretary launched CHEMIES. And they brought in CHEMIES because of the inability of Nemesis to capture all the student data. So I want to say this, Honorable Speaker, that what I've read here and what the committee has tasked the ministry to do is to ensure that CHEMIES is functional and running before the end of September. And then two, the issues of money not remitted to schools is actually what we have been, this House has been telling the minister, the committee has been telling the minister, and we are putting him to task every time. It's not only capitation, even money for sports, even money for music. We are having issues on their disbursement to schools. So, Honorable Speaker, I raise the case there. Thank you.
The Honorable, no. We will not allow any further discussion on this matter. My direction is this: we will not take, because the Honorable Chair has just introduced a new confusion. Yes. That there's Nemesis, now there's CHEMIES, we don't know. So the direction, order. The direction I'm giving on this matter is that the Cabinet Secretary for Education shall come to the House the week we resume. Most particularly, the Wednesday of the week we resume after recess, with a specific role, nothing else, to explain to the House on the system for registration of students in our schools. Yes. No other subject. So that we get to know. We don't want to hear it from a fellow member of parliament. We want to hear, is Nemesis still there or is not there? And what is CHEMIES? So that members leave the House knowing the system that we're using to register students in our schools, so that we don't have so many questions coming out on this. And it's so ordered. Next order.
Order number 8, the Breastfeeding Mothers Bill, National Assembly Bill number 8 of 2024, second reading. Question to be put.
Order. Now, all members, debate on this motion, or this bill was